Hello everybody! There is a popular multiplayer map called Tharsis Depot that appears in both 2009's Killzone 2 and 2013's Killzone Mercenary, and there's some interesting differences between these two versions. Today I'm going to show you what those differences are, and in some cases I'm going to give you my take on why the programmers made certain things different. Now, why would anyone make a video like this one? Well, I'm a huge nerd, I love Killzone, and I find these kind of things interesting. I hope that you do too. If this video gets 99 views, I'll be happy. Now, I must mention the elephant in the room. There was yet another version of Tharsis Depot in Killzone 3, which came with a DLC pack. That version was drastically different, adding a third floor and jetpacks, among other things. However, even if you have the DLC installed, that map isn't available in the bot zone mode. It was only playable in multiplayer, and since the server was shut down, nobody is able to play on the map anymore. Maybe one day the multiplayer will be revived on private servers, like it has been for Killzone 1 and Killzone 2. And if that happens, maybe we'll be able to see that version of Tharsis once again. But until then, that map will be forever trapped inside the game files, which is a pity, unless one of you knows a way to get it out of the files. If you do, let me know. By the way, the footage you see today is from the bot zone modes, and it was captured using physically owned games playing on a PS3 and a PS TV. The mercenary footage can be easily identified by the map on the bottom left and the little circles on the right. Tharsis is a subterranean refinery on Helgen, and we'll start the comparison just inside the facility's main building. In Killzone 2, it's a huge open world, and you could pretty much shoot through the entire building from one entryway to the other. But in Mercenary, there is a wall that has been placed in the middle. The programmers most likely made this alteration to lessen the impact of people camping from far away. They did this on Killzone Shadowfall's version of Radec Academy too, adding a wall to block a very long stretch that wasn't there before. Mercenary also has certain lock-on weapons, so adding something to block long open stretches makes sense if you want to cut down on cheap hits. On the other side of that wall, there's some crates that allow mercenary players to hop up to the side door up there. There's no way to do this in Killzone 2. At least I can't figure out a way to do it. Now we'll head to the outside through this tiny room here. In Mercenary, there is a glitch which causes some of the pipes to show the wrong colors up ahead when you view it from far away. If we turn to look at this long pipe in Mercenary, we can see material running through it. In Killzone 2, we don't see anything moving through it. According to some lore I found online, the Helgens updated the facility after the initial ISA invasion, and changed it so it now processes nuclear petricide, which is apparently what we see flowing through it. Looking up at the skybox, we see very similar views between the two games. In Mercenary, there's some kind of glowing thing right here, and I'm not sure what that is. Mercenary also has more crates laying around this area, probably once again to cut down on camping and to give you more hiding spots against the weapons that lock onto you. Now we'll head toward the Helghast base camp. At least that's what it is in Killzone 2. In Mercenary, large doors have been placed over the openings. This is because there's no base camps in Mercenary. You respawn in various places all over the map. It's very possible that the walls of the base camp still exist behind those doors. I speculate that when they made this map for Mercenary, they started with the code for the Killzone 2 version. That's why it looks so familiar, and I think there's probably pieces of the old Killzone 2 maps behind some of the walls that we see. There's also this side exit that comes out of the base. And once again in Mercenary, it's sealed. But if I peek down in there, I can see the walkway that used to connect to that exit. So this once again tells me that certain parts of the old map are still there behind everything. Maybe they just left it in there to make it look more real or whatever, but I just find that fascinating. These crates with these little containers are pretty much the same in both games. Heading toward the other side of the map, we see this walkway, which in Mercenary now has a support structure in the middle of it. If we continue past that, we see this big open area. The lighting differences between the games is stark. All of those little lights look extremely bright in Mercenary. The various machinery in the distance is a bit different as well. It looks more foggy in Mercenary. As we turn toward the ISA base in Killzone 2, we see a stairway that leads to the base. But in Mercenary, that stairway is blocked. Peering down in there, the walkway that used to be there in Killzone 2 is no longer there. Heading toward the main entrance to that base, we see once again it's been blocked by doors in Mercenary. Just like the other base, I'm wondering how much of this base still exists behind the doors in Mercenary. There's some little windows off to the side, and when I jump, I can get a glimpse of what's inside. And it looks like the wall structures are still in there. I then took a Mantis engine and flew it in there to confirm. And unfortunately, static appears on the screen when I get a little bit in there, but from what I can see, the walls are still in there. Heading away from that base, this crane thing looks pretty much the same between the two games, though you can see it a lot better in the Mercenary version. And then we'll head into this hallway that has the lockers. It's pretty much the same between the two games, except someone finally closed that open locker in Mercenary. Around the corner is where in Killzone 2 the bombs got planted. The equipment is different between the two games. And the wall in the room shows that some things have been repaired. Heading upstairs, we see the drastic differences in the lighting. And cutting across to the control room on the other side, the equipment on the wall is pretty much the same, but the color and the lighting of the walls is a lot different. And one funny thing is there's a stain on the floor of this stairwell here, and it's in both games, and in Mercenary it looks a little bit worse. But what's funny, when I was recording this, I walked across that stain and I was instantly killed by the Sky Fury the enemy had activated. So that wraps up the video. If you like this kind of stuff, be sure to watch my comparison of Radec Academy, which is a comparison between 3 games, Killzone 2, Killzone 3, and Killzone Shadowfall. Have a great day, everybody.